Hello, everybody. Okay, just right as I hit play, I'm now fighting with a sneeze. So that's why it looks like I got punched. Hopefully I don't sneeze, but it's making my eye water. No, you shut up. Okay, so there, I think the sneeze went away. So we're having a thunderstorm. It sounds like it might have died down a little bit. There's no wind, but if it gets bad and I like disappear, it's because my power went out. Anybody with an iPhone, iPad, if you are able to adequately use Patreon, please tell me, does it work better in Safari or does it work better in the app? Like, can you access the community tab? Can you post pictures? Because it seems like every time we get a new person into Patreon and they're using an Apple product, it like doesn't work. And I don't know which way to go. Like to tell them use the app or use the browser or whatever. So somebody tell me, because I think most of the people who use Androids don't have any problem with it either way. Not that I've heard anyway. I don't have any problem with it. So somebody tell me. Safari can see the community but can't post. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Patreon needs to get on that. Rhonda uses the app on an iPad and doesn't have any problems. Rhonda, you're able to post and see everything in the community tab? Okay, no, I don't know. You guys are telling me a million things. I have no idea. So here's my best advice. If you're using an iPhone or an iPad and you're having problems and you're using the app, try it in the browser. If you're having problems and you're using the browser, try it in the app. And if it's just craziness, please, 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 I beg you, reach out to Patreon's help feature. Tell them there's an issue. Be specific. Tell them exactly what the issue is. Make them fix it. The only way those things are going to get fixed is if we complain about them. Make them fix their broken features. Seriously. Don't, just say, oh, well, I can't get to that feature. Sucks. Everybody else can. No, make them fix it for you. Don't put up with it. Okay. So, and a cat hair at my nose. So let's just go ahead and get all of this out of the way. Right meow. Vince and I are leaving tomorrow. We are going on a camping trip. The one that we were supposed to take in May, that was supposed to be like a huge camping trip that didn't happen. We are leaving tomorrow to do, it might be an abbreviated version of that. So we might be gone for a week or two. Not a full month like we were planning before. So we are leaving. That said, whenever I have the availability for at least cell phone reception on the weekends, I will be doing live events with you guys, okay? So I might be holding my phone and then pointing it at something if I'm painting, but I will be doing live events with you guys. So don't think that you're rid of me for the next 2-ish weeks, because I'm going to be here if I can. If I don't have any internet service, there's nothing I can do. I will be doing my best to record videos while we're gone. And yeah, so that's that. This coming week, I actually don't have a video. I know, I suck so bad lately, and we'll kind of talk about that. Olaf is coming, yes. Mr. Moon is not coming. Mr. Moon is going to stay at Grandma's house. Because Mr. Moon gets car sick, and where we're going to be gone for, a couple of weeks, that's not something I want to deal with. Every 30 minutes having to pull over for a car sick cat. So we took Mr. Moon over to my mom's house and introduced him to her dog, Moby, and They didn't hate each other. Mr. Moon kind of took over the house and growled at Moby if he came too close to him too fast. But for the most part, he kind of sat there and just looked at Moby. Even when he came up and was like sniffing his face, he was cool with it. So I think they'll do good. But yeah, so I don't have a video tomorrow, and I know that lately. Can you hear Mr. Moon screaming? He's back there. He's not very happy we're not taking him. I know I've only been doing a video like every other week lately, and part of that is why we're going camping. I feel like, you know, everybody goes through blocks. Everybody goes through these phases where they just, nothing works out, or they just don't have any ideas, or they just don't feel motivated, or, you know, whatever. And I mean, I'm certainly not a machine who doesn't go through those kind of things. And I certainly do. I think the issue, or the difference between me and you guys, is that is my job. If I don't feel like painting, I have to anyway, or, you know, I might not be able to pay my house bill, you know, things like that. So there's that extra added stress on top of it. I don't want to say stress. I just mean, you know, extra added element on top of it. And sometimes when it's work, even if it's fun work, it's still work. And, you know, it's hard to work just for yourself. So I think I have kind of hit a little bit of like we'll call it like an artistic depression, I guess. So I feel like I need to take this little bit of a break and see if I can get back into it. Like I said, I'll still be painting. I'm taking all of my paint supplies with me, all my art supplies. I'll still be making art, but it's going to be more focused on like things that I want to do. But I want to share those with you guys. So I will still, whatever it is that I'm doing, I'll record it. And if it's good, I'll share it with you. If it sucks, I won't. So, yeah. So that's what's going on there. But I want to show you guys what I did yesterday. It's not incredible, but it was super fun. And I'm going to do more. And I'm going to share them with you. So my mom and I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, and I bought this bag of little log slices. Bunch of log slices, all different sizes. Some of them were quite big, some of them are quite small. So this is just kind of a medium small one. And they need to be sanded. I didn't sand it, but I need to sand them from now on. So what I did is I just did it in a couple of minutes. It's nothing spectacular, but let's go here. I should let me set my white balance. Hang on. That's really ugly. That's so yellow. Let's fix it up. Much better. Okay. So I painted a little, just like a little mountain scene with like a night sky on my little log slice, and then it's still wet, so you can still kind of see it. I just put a little pouring medium over top of it to kind of seal it and give it that resin look. So that was pretty fun. I have a ton of these, so I'm going to work on some of these while we're camping too. And yeah, I'll show you what I did. I was thinking, you know, I'll probably end up doing a bunch of these, and I'll probably share it publicly just in time lapse, which is what I said about the portrait, and that hasn't happened yet. Oh, maybe I'll share the portrait time lapse public this week so that people don't cry and give me an angry face on Facebook when I say I don't have a video. People get mad. It's crazy. Yeah, so I'll probably do a bunch of these, record them, and share it as one video, you know, in time lapse publicly, and then I'll share with you guys like a normal version, a normal speed version. But you can still see the wood rings in there. It's kind of fun. So I'm excited to see it when it cures all the way. But anyway, so that's that. Inktense, a slice of, yep, birthday gifts. You could absolutely, I think you absolutely could use Inktense on these. And I think I just may. Thanks for the idea, Gretchen. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would have gotten to it anyway because I'm so imaginative, especially these days. No, people didn't get mad about the lady painting. Whenever I say no video this week, like at least one person gives me the angry face on YouTube. I'm like, sorry, not a machine. No, Mickey, it's not varnish. It's pouring medium, but you could use varnish. I just used pouring medium as a. I just thought I'd see what happened. Oh, Rhonda. Okay, thank you. You're right. Thanks for the reminder. I shouldn't be so hard on myself. Yeah, I was thinking about making a magnets, just, putting like a rare earth magnet on the back. I have a little Dremel kit. I could Dremel like a little hole into the back and stick a magnet on it so it doesn't like hang way off of the fridge. I was kind of thinking about doing that, so I very well may. But anyway, this is all of the painting I did this week. Every brush stroke I painted this week, you can see right here. Actually, that's not true. So remember with the skull painting, I promised that I was going to show you how to permanently mount it for hanging. So I did that. I actually finished that today. I just need to edit the video. So I have our skull painting. Look at that. Woo woo. So I'll have that video coming out soon. I think I need to touch it up a little bit right there. Basically what I used is it's one of those art boards that I just got at Blick. You could even use an old canvas. You could use an old canvas board. It doesn't have to be an art board like this. You could use a piece of acid-free, just a regular board. It doesn't have to have the frame, and then just stick it in a frame. But I even recorded, putting the hanging wire on there. So if any of you have ever wondered how to put hanging wires on your things, I recorded that as well. So I have all of that footage. I just need to finish editing it, and then I can get that out to you. But yeah, putting the hanging wire on there, I know that probably seems intimidating. This is actually so much easier than you think it's going to be. It's pretty easy. So, but I'll show you how to do that too. So, yeah. There's even like artist foam core. It's like a sheet of acid-free foam that's used for mounting art, and you could do this exact same thing on it. It's like a wood canvas that I mounted that on. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to have it out on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we're going to be in the middle of Nevada, and I might not have any internet. So, and that would mean that I would have to get it all edited tomorrow, and we're leaving tomorrow. So that's not going to happen. But, yeah, I might be able to time-lapse the lady and put that out. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so today what we're supposed to be doing is watching the skull video. And so it's like our first official JAMSS session in months. We haven't really done one in a long time. So if you've never been to one of these before, basically we're just going to watch the skull video, and whatever questions you guys have about any of the techniques, or can I do this, or what if I did this, or questions that don't pertain to it at all, you can go ahead and ask. And I'm set up here for demos, obviously. So yeah, we can just do whatever you need. And if you want to skip ahead in the skull video, we can skip ahead. All of that. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me know how the audio is. If it's too loud, too quiet. If you're new to these, the audio on the skull video is going to be quiet and it might be hard to hear, but that's so that I can talk. You know, the real video with the audio is available, so, but I keep it turned down so that I can speak over it and you guys can hear what I'm saying. So, all right, let me know how that volume is. I know it freezes up for a second. It's fine. No, she doesn't have a name. The portrait lady, I didn't give her a name.
This is an actual sheet of canvas. And I kind of jumped ahead a bit here. I've already got
Oh, my paper plates. Yeah, I got those at Michael's last year at Halloween.
And you can download the image for free, the reference image with the 12 by 16 grid on it.
Another Mona Lisa painting? I haven't heard of that, Jennifer.
You can get that for free. If you need more information on grid,
Was it Da Vinci or?
maybe put it on a different size grid or just any questions you have about gridding, make sure you check out the
Yeah, Gwen's is named Wednesday. And she's beautiful.
Where I kind of give you the ins and outs of gridding and show you how you can grid any image.
Yeah, she is peeping over my shoulder right here.
I'm just going to do this.
Let's see. If I turn this way, you can see her. Just have her slung against the wall back there.
Sketching this at my own pace, making a couple of errors and having to go back and fix it. So
Have I given any further thought to marathon? Not just yet. We still have a little while before I have to decide because I usually do it as close to Halloween as possible. It is something I definitely want to do. However, I don't want to do it the way I've done it in the past. So I need to try and figure out exactly what it is that I want to do. I want to go at it with a plan. So it is something I still need to think about.
sienna and a little bit of Naples yellow. I'm just kind of looking for a warm color in between the two.
Has anybody done the skull painting yet?
So not a super light color, not a super dark color. I'm just going to grab a tiny bit of ultramarine blue to mix in there just to gray that color down a little bit because I don't want it to be like a bright orangey color.
Yeah, I really enjoy the marathons.
The way that it makes the paint feel and the way it blends, but you don't.
But I just want to mix it up this year. I don't want to just watch a bunch of old paintings again. You know, I can't play the music that I was playing the last couple of years because I don't want to talk about it because I'm still angry. But so that kind of soured me on it too. I'm like, what am I going to do? Sit in silence? I can't have awesome Halloween music. So I don't know. I'm trying not to be bitter and angry about it.
I'm just kind of playing around with that and deciding, is this
Tammy.
color? If it's not, I'll cover it up.
Oh, thanks, guys. It's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. It was just crap that I had to deal with, and it just irritated me.
Pretty much add the same.
Deborah gridded it, but hasn't started it. How was the gridding process, Deborah? And what size did you use?
Ask if I will keep the reference image up on the screen, and that's not something that
I'll get you a date as soon as I can, Gwen, I promise.
Be distracting. It would cover part of the canvas. It would, overlap, and I'd have to keep moving it around. But also, it can get confusing.
Oh, just between us, you guys, the skull is one that I want to do on one of the log slices. I'm thinking I'm going to try and do a little grid on a log and paint the skull on it. So we'll see. I guess that's going to depend on how much time I end up having while we're on the road.
In the same place I am, or even necessarily in the quote unquote right place.
Repaint the lives with the twist. Yeah, maybe.
I know I can change it later, just like you can.
No, Jennifer, I can't see it. I wouldn't be able to click on it while I'm broadcasting anyway, because
My final painting.
try and minimize as much of my CPU usage as possible while broadcasting. Post it in a thing on the Patreon community tab.
A guideline, not as a goal. So my goal is not to make my painting look just like the reference image. I may look at something on my reference image.
Oh yeah, Norman skull necklace. I don't feel like, I think the smallest one is about like that. I guess that
Shadow looks at a face.
it might be a little hefty because they're kind of thick, but
And that's
maybe.
okay. It's, you're not supposed
Nice, Lori. I'm glad you got it to work.
image to an absolute T. You're just supposed to take
I'll be able to look at it long before I get back from vacation, I promise.
as you go along.
Of course we're taking the scamp. Of course. It's the only reason to go.
Free to do as well. So I'm just going to finish laying in this value.
So no issues with the gridding, Deborah. Good. I'm really glad to hear that. A steam train? That sounds awesome, Rhonda. Did you post a picture of it? Yep. I just use a ruler to apply the grid to the canvas. You know, I just measure across 1 inch, make a mark, make your lines, do the other way. That's it.
Now I'm going to mix my burnt sienna and my ultramarine blue, and there's still a little bit of yellow in
Yeah, pin could be a good idea. That could be fun. I think for anything like that that you'd want to wear, that it would have to be quite a bit smaller because, I mean, they're thick. Look how thick that is. It's even the small ones, they're all pretty much the same thickness.
It doesn't matter if they're in the right place. It doesn't matter if they're darker or lighter.
Oh, Rhonda, don't be nervous. Post it in Patreon. The only people who can see it in Patreon is us. Like, it's not public. And you can always feel confident and comfortable to post to us. Nobody in our group is going to nitpick you or say rude things. And if they do, then they probably shouldn't be here. So we don't have a group like that. I won't tolerate people being mean to others, you know, especially when you're first starting out. There's no reason to be mean. So I hope that you feel confident to post to us on Patreon.
Remember your soft brush strokes. You can put full pressure on your brush to kind of plop down the paint.
Yeah, Annie says that her burnt sienna is kind of jelly-like, like mine. You know, I think that it has a lot to do with certain pigments. Some pigments, especially, I've noticed a lot of the earth pigments, burnt sienna, burnt umber, any of the siennas and umbers, really, they get that, sorry guys, I'm just covered in cat hair. They get that kind of gritty, jelly-like texture, and I think it has to do with the pigment. So if you get one like that, I'm positive it's not old. It's just how it is. Now, if you get ultramarine that looks like that, you might want to ask them about that. I've never seen ultramarine do that. I've seen cerulean do that. I actually got a cerulean that was pretty smooth, and it was surprising to me. So some colors just do that.
So again, I'm just going to lay this where I see my darkest values. And that doesn't...
No judging. Absolutely. There's no judging here.
Inside of the eyes or the nose, just on the outside of the skull.
Your ultramarine does that, Kelly. Really?
For Halloween.
I would maybe reach out to Liquitex about that because, yeah, I've never seen colors like ultramarine or the cadmiums or, you know, a lot of the other paints that are dyes, like the quinacridones. I don't ever see them do that, but some of the more natural pigments do that. Really, Tammy's got a naphthol and a Prussian that do that? I don't think that's normal. From what I've heard, when you reach out to Liquitex with those issues, they're pretty good about replacing them. Gwen had Quinn like that. Really? I've never seen a magenta do that. Lori, I don't buy paint at Michael's, so I got my Indanthrene at Blick at the store or online or Amazon, but I personally don't shop at Michael's because they're really expensive. Like, when you use a 40% off coupon at Michael's, you're kind of paying like the price that you can buy it for online all the time. it was really eye-opening to me when I wanted a color from Michaels and they didn't have it, so I went to Hobby Lobby and they had the exact same paints for like $5 less regular price. That was like, oh, so Michaels is super overpriced. So I next to never shop at Michaels anymore. You know what, Annie? You're right. My Quinn Burnt Orange is kind of jellyish too.
Black gesso.
That's a good point. But I was wondering if there was something earthy in it that was giving that
This in a
burnt
color
orange color that was doing that.
a week or so ago, and I did it on a white canvas, and I gave it an ultramarine blue underpainting, and that looked really interesting.
Yeah, see, Charlotte said they replaced
Almost
some of
didn't
hers.
the video today, but I decided black would be a much more appropriate underpainting for this painting, so that's why I went with that. But yeah, you can definitely
Yeah, some of the people in chat are saying that when the paint gets too hot or when the paint gets too cold, like freezing temperature, that can happen. And that might be it too. Lori, the Blick website is dickblick.com. And their shipping takes a lifetime, but their prices are awesome.
kind of start bringing those three sections a little bit closer together. So here we go. I've cleaned off my brush. I'm going to grab a tiny swipe of that burnt sienna ultramarine mixture and get my Naples yellow.
Yeah, Amazon is a good reliable source for supplies too.
A little sunny, a little cheerful, a little too bright. But if I can gray it down a little like that, I feel like it'll be a little bit more appropriate for the painting.
Rhonda, I don't know if, I mean, I think it would have to sit in the store for a very long time for that to happen.
My skull is going to be the brightest.
I mean, I have paint that I've had for years that's fine. So,
A few times. In fact, there were probably several times
I don't
in
know.
this painting where I was quite unhappy with what was happening. I wasn't letting myself get stressed out though, because that's just not how I work anymore. You know, I put a lot of practice.
Charlotte asked if it would be better to use black gesso or black paint for this. That would be completely up to you and the textures that you like to work on. I personally don't like the texture of painting on top of, you know, like if I were to paint this black, I would have to use a heavy application of black to get it solid, and I don't like to paint on top of that texture, so I prefer black gesso. But if you have no preference or you like the smoother, less toothy version, then you'd probably like black paint more than black gesso. It just depends on what you prefer.
I don't really like what's happening here. But what I did was think to myself, something I say to you guys all the time. Well, you know, if I don't like it, then it can't possibly get any worse. I mean, I already don't like it, right?
Yeah, Lori, I don't know of any stores that carry Fredericks regularly. I have seen like some of the canvas pads at the Blick store that I go to, but that's really all they have is just the canvas pads. But the dickblick.com carries a lot of Fredericks. You can find a lot of them on Amazon. I always have a link in my video descriptions that go right to them on Amazon, to actually all of the products that I'm using, right to Amazon. So
Well, this can't get any worse. Let's just keep going.
yeah, the gold canvases, the gold and the pearl canvases, they were so fun to work on. This was actually the first painting I had done after working on the Ultra Smooth and the gold and the pearlescent for a few weeks. And so it was kind of strange going back to a toothier canvas. But yeah, those canvases are so smooth. They were awesome.
Care if the painting fails or succeeds. Usually what happens is it turns out so much better than I could have hoped for. And it's because when you put pressure on yourself to perform, when you think, oh, this has to look like this, you put so much pressure on yourself, and it makes everything harder. It really does. But if you genuinely
Yeah, the ultra smooth canvases, they're expensive.
They're not caring if it
They're like
turns out
high-end canvases. Absolutely high-end canvases.
you can still not care about a painting and put effort
I would, yeah, they're probably not real beginner canvases. I think like the 16 by 20 like I was using, I want to say they're like $35 each for a single canvas. If I were buying them, I don't know if I would. I maybe for, if I was doing something I was going to put weeks and weeks into and yeah, but they are expensive, but they're
if I'm ready to record.
super high quality.
A lot of times I record my practices
What color of metallic are you working on right now, Tammy?
and see what kind of techniques I use to remember what colors I use. But sometimes it's because occasionally the practice turns out better than the actual painting that I would record. So I decided to record my practice, and I used an old palette in the process. So that's why my palette looks all gunky and used up. I hadn't actually planned on giving you this version, but I loved the way it turned out. So I decided that this one was perfect for the video. I'm just kind of going back and forth in my values right now. I'm starting to build on them. I've got the three, my mid-tone, which is kind of that orange color, the dark values, which is the brown, and the light values, which is the yellow. Now I'm still using my 1/2 inch flat, and I'm just going back.
Another thing, hello, Asen. You're sleepy, aren't you? Another thing that I really like, I know some of you guys in chat are saying that you really like the Michaels canvases just for practice. But an even cheaper option that takes up a lot less space is like the acrylic paper. And this stuff's pretty cheap. It's just the Strathmore acrylic paper. I do actually buy a lot of my paper still at Michaels because it's always on sale and it's pretty cheap. But the acrylic paper it's pretty good. Yeah, I use quite a bit of it, when I'm just like tearing through some ideas because it's just paper, so you can throw it away if you don't like it, or, if you do like it, you can put it in a frame and keep it or whatever, but I use a lot of the acrylic paper. Usually when it's like buy one, get one half off, or buy two, get one free, or whatever, I'll go stock up on them. Thank you, Lori. I kind of felt like I was struggling with the blending on the skull until right at the last minute, I was like, oh, that actually looks okay.
But like I said, I didn't give up. I just kept experimenting and changing and seeing what happens. Here, I did wash my brush. I'm getting as dark of a mixture as I can between the blue and the sienna. I have a little extra water on my brush, and I'm just going to flip some little splatters, just kind of playing with the texture at this point. The skull in the reference image has so much texture on it, so many different textures that,
Oh, nice, Annie. So you did a black canvas and then painted the gold moon on top of it?
not be afraid of any of it.
Rather than painting the gold and then doing the black around it?
You could even come back and splatter some of the lighter.
You like the flicky bits? I think when you start adding a little bit of texture, that's when it feels like it starts, pulling together a little bit more. I think right around here is where I kind of started feeling a little bit more confident with it.
And I'm pretty sure once I do these splatters, I don't really wait for them to dry. So some of them are still wet when I go over with the next layer and they get blended in. Some of them dry, some of them didn't get touched. That's my number 6 round and a little bit of black paint. I'm just going to come into the eyeball, start kind of.
I'm excited to try this on a on a little log slice.
Some of those textures I may have gotten out of line a little bit, so I'm just kind of cleaning that up, reminding myself where those shapes are, and
Well, good, Gwen. I'm excited to see how your portrait comes out.
Filling that in and
I don't think I've seen any of them. Has anybody else
rather than the black
done the portrait or is planning on it or used any of the techniques in it for something else?
gonna fill in that eye, the edge of the other eye, and the nose. And then we'll start moving on with the textures again.
Lori's stuck on the portrait. Oh, that's right, Lori. You posted that, so I'll go look at it. Tammy's planning on it. Sharon's working up to it. Hey, man, that's what all painting is. It's working up to the next one. I get it. That's what we're all doing. Gwen's portrait's at the alien stage. I don't think she's at the alien stage, but I know what you mean. Imagine how I felt making a video that I knew people were going to see. Like, especially all of that where she was super, like, blocky and blotchy and her eyes were empty and her nose was all, like, lopsided. Lori, mine went through the smash nose phase, too. Nah, don't be nervous, Charlotte. The more you do it, the less nervous you'll get about it.
Not going right up to the butterfly here, just keeping it to the edge of the eye socket.
Excellent, Deborah. Did you get the black or the white canvas pads? All portraits are freaky before they're done. I think we'll do a portrait challenge. I don't know if they'll all be self-portraits. I'm not going to make anybody do it. I know some people feel awkward about doing self-portraits. But yeah, we can probably do a portrait challenge. The black ones are on Amazon. I've got them linked in my video descriptions. The black canvas pads. I'm glad that my alien photo helped you out, Tammy. They're pricey, Lori? The black canvas pads shouldn't be pricey. Look at the video description in any of my videos where I use a black one because I make sure to get a link that's not. I know occasionally you'll see those and they're like $45. You're like, 45 bucks. I did hear that in Canada they're super expensive. But yeah, I think they're like 13 or 18, something like that for a pack of 10 12 by 16s.
Now I'm going to my fuzz.
No, you guys should not paint me. That's weird.
Old, fuzzy, and puffy. It doesn't matter that it's a filbert. It just matters that it's a smaller brush that's puffy and.
Oh, thanks, Deborah. Yeah, if you guys buy through my Amazon links, I'm not pushing anybody. I'm just saying that if you do, I have an affiliate thing set up through them, and I tend to get like a few cents or whatever for each purchase that you make through my links. So that's just one more way that, you know, that you can help support me so I can keep doing this. And you'd think that I would make sure to buy all of my things on Amazon through my own Amazon affiliate links, but no, I forget all of the time. I don't think I've ever done it because I forget. Yeah, Debbie, I heard that the prices in Amazon on the canvas pads are crazy high.
Exploring where those colors and these values are.
Welcome, Lisa. Better late than never.
Hard line that I really don't like. You'll see me pick up a little bit of matte medium, kind of plop it down on that edge, and then I might swipe it out with my finger. See, just playing with my colors and values. A little bit of orange, slightly darker. Don't get too hung up on trying to
I mean, I can't stop you from painting a picture of me, but I think it's weird. Rhonda, that is my fuzzbert. He's my fuzzy old number 8 filbert. Doesn't matter that he's a filbert, it just matters that he's puffy and old for scrubbing.
To make the teeth look exactly like they are in the image. There's a lot going on there, you know, between the shadows and the lights and the shapes and the sizes and the textures. You really could make yourself crazy trying to make those teeth exactly the way you see in the reference image. So I went the other direction and said, I actually don't really care about the teeth. You know, the thing that you're going to want to look at the very most in this picture, I think, is the butterfly. And then kind of the overall texture and values of the
Right, Tammy? Never throw away a brush. I don't throw it unless a brush like completely comes apart and has absolutely no value as a brush at all. I don't throw brushes away. I have way too many brushes. I have a ton of old brushes because I can always find a use for them. And this one, my little fuzzbert, the more he gets abused and scrubbed to death, the better he works. And the more I like him, so I keep him around. You had trouble with the teeth, Lori? Did you post your skull somewhere so I can see? Look like a cartoon mouth?
Whenever you feel like you get something a little bit too light, just grab a darker color and just keep on trucking.
Oh yeah, they're good for kids to mess around with too, so they don't ruin your good brushes.
Light scrubby pressure. You'll see me plop down a little spot of color here and there.
Well, hello, Marlene. Back from 4 months of RVing. Oh my gosh. You were in Utah? What part of Utah were you in? 4 months. Man, that would be the dream. What if I'm accidentally gone for 4 months, you guys? Will you mind? My number 2 is fixing to be a scruffy fuzzbert too. Pretty excited about it, actually.
Don't be afraid to scribble. I think a lot of people are afraid of scribbling. They feel like...
Welcome, Debbie.
The loss of control is terrifying. But to me, scribbling is what really gives me the look.
Are you telling me not to go, Kelly? I have to. I have to. I have to go. Mr. Moon. Mr. Moon. Shut up. Sorry, guys.
And I feel like my painting works with me a little bit better.
No, I'm not going to ditch you. I would still
That probably doesn't make a lot of sense.
be here when I had internet connection, but I just wouldn't be here. Sorry, guys. I know all of your cats are freaking out because Mr. Moon is a noisy jerk. I can't promise I'm not going to be gone for 4 months someday. It's going to be a little too cold soon for that, but yeah, Mr. Moon would probably miss us. And my mom would probably be sick and tired of him very quickly.
Right about here.
Mr. Moon wants to be a part of every conversation. Let me see if I can get him to come say hi. Moon!
It might look like I'm starting to kind of give up and get a little frustrated. And I think this is about where I was starting to get kind of frustrated. It just
now he's ignoring me. He usually comes running when I call his name.
I think my colors are... I should have picked different colors.
Moon!
And, you know, all of
Nope.
these things.
Not today. He's mad at me.
And unhappy with how it was looking. So,
do you know how many portraits we could do in 4 months? You guys could do all of the portraits. You guys would be so slamming on the portraits by the time I got back that I'd be like, you guys are the best.
But I decided I'll see it through, see what else I can learn from this experience before I decide to give up on the and start again.
Oh,
See there?
that would be sad to be allergic to kitties.
Oh, this looks so bad.
Olaf is going to be more than happy to have a vacation from Mr. Moon. He's looking forward to it. I would love to build a tiny house. I would love to. The logistics of dragging it from place to place aren't exciting to me, but yeah, I would love to have a tiny house.
As I go, you can kind of see where I transition.
I want to see pictures of your tiny house, Megan. I'm super jealous.
This looks so bad too. Okay, wait, I might have a handle on it.
Lillian!
I think
Hey, Olaf, come here. If I can get Olaf to come in here, Mr. Moon will come too. Olaf, come in here. Bring your cat with you.
A little bit more effort into that.
I'm trying to get Mr. Moon to come in here and say hi because he's being super noisy.
All I'm doing is
No, I want him to come in and say hi. Bring him to me.
to kind of see where I see my values. As far as the colors, I'm making it the colors that I want to see in certain areas. I'm not trying to
Lori, the only colors I used on this was Naphthol, Burnt Sienna, and Ultramarine Blue. So it's just kind of a mixture of all of them. Look, here he is. Here's the noisy boy. Say hi to everybody. They've missed you. They can hear you screaming. Hi. Oh, I'm going to miss you while we're gone. Not very much. I won't miss you at 3 a.m. But, okay, go. Go. More cat hair up the nose now. Yeah, at 3 a.m. he likes to run up and down the hall yowling. So I won't miss that for the next couple of weeks. Mr. Moon, how is it that I touch you for 3 seconds and then I have cat hair up my nose for the rest of the day? Maybe I'm allergic. I don't feel like I am, but my nose tickles for like an hour after. He is a handsome fellow. He's a handsome, irritating fellow. Blick is having a pet portrait contest. Wow.
I bought some when Hobby Lobby had it clearanced, and man, I use it all the time now. Now all I'm doing is taking the darkest color I can get with the brown and the blue, and just kind of stippling, like stabbing the canvas in little spots to add a little texture. I mixed the tiniest amount of black in that mixture.
I got you, Rhonda. Yeah, Mr. Moon howls and
Swipe, a little stab on the canvas.
every time he goes potty, especially in the middle of the night, he has to go. We have hardwood floors, and he has to go tearing out of the room where his litter box is. And so he kind of does this Fred Flintstone thing where like he's trying to run, but his feet, he's just like running in place, and he's making this really loud like sound before he finally gets traction and takes off running down the hall. So, you know, we wake up to that at least once a night. I don't know.
Get a lot of that paint off so I can change the color of that.
Thank you, Marlene.
I love to paint in a limited color palette like this.
Should we skip ahead a little bit on it?
In my brush, you know?
Doink.
Don't feel like
There we go.
well.
Now we're on to the number 2 and just kind of scumbling in some little details. This little number 2, like I said, I was doing quite a bit of scrubbing with it, so it's going to be a little fuzzburt pretty soon too, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. Queen Panda Dainty Paws. Rhonda, is that your cat's name? That's so cute. That's like the cutest name I've ever heard.
You know, that white is kind of stark and a little bit shocking looking there.
Okay, it's not just Mr. Moon who does the post potty run, huh? Heck yeah, it's Fuzzbird Jr. Well, it will be. It's not quite there yet. Let's see. So I have 2 number 2s in my little jar now because one of them is Oh yeah, in fact, they're both right here. Actually, yeah, my number 2 that I'm starting to scrub with, the tip of it is getting a little hook, just a tiny bit, but other than that, it still looks pretty good so far. Have you not seen this video yet, Deborah? I really like the butterfly. I was super happy with the way the butterfly turned out, and when I was recording this video, I really was like, okay, this is just going to be my practice. And I thought, well, I'll record it because occasionally my practice will come out pretty good. And I'm like, dang it, I should have recorded that. So I did. But it was also my first go at my butterfly. And I hadn't thought about that. And then I was recording it and I was like, all right, my skull actually looks pretty good. I'm glad that I recorded this. And then I got to the butterfly and I was like, crap, I have no idea how I'm going to approach this butterfly. I've not... Oh, they're playing. Oh, I wish I could show you. They don't ever play. Olaf just avoids him. But I had no idea how I was going to do the butterfly, so I was like, oh, here goes nothing. At least I had planned on this just being a practice, but I was pretty happy with how it turned out.
I think we can officially call.
Thank you, guys. It was really my first butterfly I'd ever painted too. I wanted to do a butterfly in the past, but I was kind of intimidated by it. That, and it's a little outside of my typical things that I like to paint. It's a little pretty for me, I guess, but it worked so well in this painting, so I had to do it. Well, I will probably have to paint more butterflies now because I really enjoyed painting that one. I liked, you know, kind of layering the colors together to get a little bit of that shimmery effect, which I was worried about. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make this look shimmery without, you know, using something metallic. And so I was happy with the way it came out. Oh, the teeth aren't difficult. The teeth, it's just like... You just can't overthink the teeth. If you overthink the teeth, they're going to look pretty, you know, tight and not like what you want them to look like. So let's do a little demo real quick. I'll do a little teeth demo to kind of show you how you can get effective teeth very quickly, okay? Let's see, where's my white? Where did my white go? Oh, it's right here in front of my face. Duh. All right. Guys, I don't want you to think of these as teeth. Stop thinking of them as teeth, okay? Stop thinking of anything that you ever paint as being this or that. Start learning to see a shape and a color and translating that shape and a color into a brush stroke. That's what I need you to do. I'm just gonna pull out a couple of colors. I'm not gonna do, you know, exact teeth like I did in the video. I'm just gonna give you an idea. I'm not even gonna draw it first, okay? This is really what I did with my teeth. So I used my 1/2 inch flat, and I'm just gonna get a little bit of white. And what I did while I was looking at the teeth was I said, I can kind of see a highlight right there, maybe one right there, maybe. And if I didn't like that, I could come back with some black. Maybe I don't like that one. And I get some of my brown because I see in my image what maybe looks like a little brown right there. It's just a series of lines. I know those lines because there's no context to the rest of the image, but I'm telling you, that's exactly what I did. You can just come back and, you know, and then toward the end, I think I just did a tiny bit of this. I didn't spend a lot of time on it with my number 2. And again, it's almost like the little handwriting thing. It's pretend like you're writing something really quickly. I've got my hand on my canvas, so it's just the tip of the brush touching, and it's like, And if that's too much, some black, take something away. Don't want that there. It's just a series of just little sketchy, confident brush strokes like that. Stop thinking of them as teeth. You know, when you're looking at your reference image, look at it and say, there's a white line right there that kind of moves in that direction. So then get your brush and go, there's a white line that moves in that direction. There's one that moves in that direction. There's, you know. If you think of them as teeth, you're going to be looking at way too many details. You're going to try and render every single detail and color that you see. You're going to tighten up and you're going to struggle. But if you just get in there and, you know, put a slash of color where you think you see it, then it's going to be a lot easier. I don't know if I can get this in here. I'm going to have to show you upside down. Sorry, guys. But if you look, my teeth, they don't look like teeth at all. It's a slash. Look, it was a slash of the yellow color. And then I came back later and I put a slash of white on it. And then I had little scribbly bits with the number 2. It's just a series of lines that either kind of go up and down at an angle or side to side. That's it. I did not try to render any of the teeth as I see them in the image. It's just all very general. And if you, I know that, yeah, like Mickey said, it's right brain thinking, but if you can force yourself to loosen up and just say white line, slash, white line, leave it alone. Don't analyze how it looks. Don't try to, that doesn't look like a tooth. That's too long. That's too short. That's in the wrong place. It's the wrong color. None of that. Just light color. Pff, done. Don't touch it again. The more you can force yourself to do that, the easier it will be, and the more you'll start to see those things and confidently be able to do that. That's the only way I've been able to do anything like that. I know I really need to do my nails. Sorry, guys. It's the only way I've been able to do anything like that, and it's because I have just, you know, focused on that. Sue asked, how long does it take before you start seeing shapes as opposed to things? There's no time frame. There's nothing I can tell you as far as this is how long it takes. It's going to depend on how much energy you put into it, how much practice you do. But then also everybody's brain is different. Some people have an easier time automatically being able to see that. Some people are going to struggle with it a little bit more. It depends on how much time and energy you put into it. Good. I'm glad it helped to see it upside down. Good. Yeah, absolutely. Painting upside down does help. Yeah, because it forces you to see colors and shapes, you know. Like I said in this video at one point, at no point was I like, I have to try and make this look like a forehead, or I have to try and make this look like a butterfly, or this has to look like a tooth. It was all about the colors and the shapes, you know? So rather than saying, how do I make the skull look like it's curved here? I look at the image, I'm like, it's dark there, it's light there. And if I can put those values in the right place, that alone will make the skull look curved. But all of those things take practice. And there's no sense in getting frustrated if you're having a hard time with it. You just got to keep practicing. And eventually it will come to you. Debbie, I understand that. My brain doesn't cooperate quite frequently. Yeah, Annie, I like to paint trees upside down too. Sometimes you get, you know, if you feel like your trees are looking a little stale. I went through a phase where I was like, I hated every tree I painted because they just looked stale. Turn the canvas upside down, and even if you try and paint it exactly the same, you move different, you see it different, you analyze different, and your tree is going to look different. So yeah, I did that, and then I liked my trees a little bit better because they were fresh and new.
image. I altered the color just a little bit just to give me an idea of how I wanted to select my colors for the painting, the techniques that I use, the colors that I use, all of those things are
Yeah, Gwen, if you turn your portrait upside down, I bet you will see something different about it.
what I want you
And
feel free to do.
and I bet it will help.
To
Absolutely.
decide how you want to see it. Not just feel like you have to recreate the reference image the way that you see it. Because if you and everyone else tries to recreate the reference image exactly as I see it, then you and everyone else are going to come out with the same painting.
Am I going to try to use other mediums on vacation? I mean, I have my watercolor. See, look here how I'm, sorry, real quick, how I'm scribbling with that little brush. Pretty sure that doesn't look like my reference image at all. I'm just finding what I like and just dashing little, you know, bits of color in there. I'll have my watercolors with me and my, what is it? My Inktense pencils and my acrylics. So, yeah, I'll do a few different things.
To make something exactly like something else. See, now that I'm working on those little bits of text,
You haven't ever seen me turn anything upside down, Mickey? I know I've done it.
all of the different
I know that, because I know for a fact I did, because I don't remember what video it was, but I remember I had somebody yell at me for it, tell me how unnecessary that was. And they didn't like that I turned it upside down, so they kind of ripped me up one side and down the other. And I was like, if you don't want to turn your canvas upside down, don't.
tiniest amount of black and with my blue and brown, and just kind of generate
Oh no, Charlotte, get some rest.
those little, bone plate lines or fractures or whatever it is we see.
You didn't like the Inktense, Lori, huh?
I'm not trying to mimic any of them exactly. I'm just generally kind of scumbling in a couple little lines, and I think
What didn't you like about the Inktense?
of suggesting those little cracks and lines that you see in the reference image.
Yeah, Debbie says I need to learn to leave it alone and not pick at it, but it comes with practice, seriously. You know, the next time you do something that you're like, ugh, I don't like that,
Is enough.
make yourself stop.
You are absolutely
You know, because the more you
that whole
are like, well, I just need to fix this one little bit, the more you reinforce that habit. So if you have a brush mark that is like really hard and it seems overly obvious and you really hate it, I challenge you to leave it alone. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I think you'll find that a lot of times those things end up working themselves out as you go anyway, or they get covered up and, you know, they don't matter. Or you end up thinking, oh, that actually kind of looks good, and liking it. Lori, I did see your cup of fruit, and did you see my comment on it? And you need to work on being a lot nicer to my friend Lori. Because, Lori, you're kind of mean to my friend Lori. And I thought your cup of fruit was awesome, and I don't say that I think something's awesome if I don't. And I really liked your cup of fruit. So you need to work on being nice to Lori. Yeah, I need to get some time to work with my Inktense a little bit more. I haven't had a lot of time to play with them. So, Debbie, you just said something important. She said that she thought that the blue moon should have been easy, and it wasn't. And I think that sometimes if we feel like something should be easy, we set ourselves up to have it be really hard. What is that?
the same thing. And maybe doing
Glass of grape juice.
Grape Juice Plus.
definitely
Thanks.
technique.
Yeah, so I know what you mean. Sometimes if I'm like, oh, this painting should be easy, and then like an hour and a half in, I'm like, I suck and I should probably never touch paintbrush ever again. I think my microphone batteries are going to die. Oh well, if that happens, I'll just go onto the other microphone. I'll sound weird, but you'll be able to hear me.
some right along the edge of that eye.
Jane has no wisdom, Deb.
That creates a lot
You
of
know that.
drama. I've got some good light in that eye. And if I can go nice and dark around the edge of it, that will create that drama and realism that I really want to achieve in, at least the values. We've got expressive,
I mean, he is sweet, but he's only being prompt because it's 5 o'clock and he wants a glass of grape juice plus.
that's where we can create that level of realism.
He delivers to me, Tammy, but probably not outside of the house. What's the plus, Lori? It's grape juice, but
Blazing a little hint
better.
of dark color.
Like it's really old grape juice.
Aged look.
Jane has all of the wisdom. Jane has none of the wisdom. Jane makes it up as she goes along. She does have a little experience, which I guess you could call wisdom, but I don't think that's what it really is. Yeah, Rhonda's stuck on a monochromatic snake that she thought would be easy. Good, Lori. That's exactly what I want, is for you to feel inspired to go try something. And what I really want you to try working on, Lori, is being nice to Lori. Remember that. So when you start being all mean to my pal Lori, I want you to remember that I said that. And then be nice. Say something nice to Lori. Yeah, Lori, it's just a glass of wine. I'm too old to get too hardcore. That Lori's OCD too.
Starting to get a little bit frustrated right here.
All you Loris, well, and probably everybody in here, you got to be nice to yourselves.
For some reason.
If you're not your own cheerleader, you know,
So if you feel like
you might not have anybody around you who cheerleads for you. So you have to be your own cheerleader.
step back from it, don't scrutinize it too hard. Try to look at it like something.
We are our own worst critics sometimes, and we need to stop that. We need to be our own best friend and our own best cheerleader. There's enough critics in the world that you can't control. Why, why be a critic when you can control that? It is practice. So Lori says she's getting better at it, and it is practice. I know. You have to practice at it. Just like you practice at everything else. Practice has to go into that too. Sharon, that is so 100% right. She said if we spoke to our friends the way we speak to ourselves, we'd have no friends. That is so true. And if your friends spoke to you the way that you speak to yourself, you would probably stop painting. You would feel so bad. And, it's the same thing when you do it to yourself. It really is. All right, here, we're going to start on the butterfly. Little burnt sienna and white. Number 2, really pale color.
So yeah, in the butterfly, I use the exact same colors I use in the
Oh, Deb talks nice to her houseplants. I just kill them, so I better not do anything to myself the way I do it to houseplants, because that would be bad.
And I'm just going to start kind of slashing that color through. Notice I'm using the tip of the brush. And that's it.
Yep, be okay with yourselves. You have to be your own cheerleader.
The edge be fractured.
It's a safe grape juice plus place. It is.
It's a little bit, bumpy. It's not perfect.
Tammy, my burnt sienna, it is a little jelly-like, but also it looks even more jelly-like there because it was kind of old. It was drying out a little bit, to be fair.
Real version of that Naples color. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. There were a couple of times.
But yeah, that Naples is so much smoother.
This butterfly looks so bad. But again, it was all about layers. And the more layers I applied, the more I was able to push and pull it to toward the final product that I wanted.
That's sad. Your Prussian shouldn't look like that. I have noticed, though, that when I have a paint that's like that, a little matte medium does help smooth it out.
I'm not trying to change, the transition from one color to the next. As you can tell, I'm not even really worried about covering all of the black. I end up with a lot of the black canvas still showing.
You can tell that this number 2 is starting to get kind of puffy. I'm starting to have a little bit of a hard time controlling it.
I did wash off my brush there, and now I'm going to move
Sad. I'm pretty sure my Prussian's not like that. Let's see. Ooh. I don't use it very often, but ugh. I'm pretty sure my Prussian blue isn't like that. Oh, look at that. It was right on top. That never happens, does it? Nope. My Prussian blue is nice and smooth. Rhonda has discussions with her cat so she doesn't have to talk to herself. There's nothing wrong with that either. I talk to Mr. Moon and Olaf all the time. Lori and her husband talk to the cats more than each other. But do you have conversations with each other through your animals? Because Vince and I will do that. Olaf, go tell Daddy that blah, 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 blah. And then Olaf will run to Vince and he'll say, what? Well, go tell Mommy that blah, 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 blah. And so Olaf is running back and forth. And yeah, we spend way too much time cooped up in the house together.
These colors that, like I said, this was my first shot at the painting. I hadn't done any practicing.
Puffizing. That's a great word, Deb.
So, yeah, I'm pretty lucky that those colors worked out the way
You made a abstract today with kitchen utensils, Asen? I want to see. Yeah, Debbie, you can just order one brush at a time. You don't have to buy a set. I do have my shop closed down right now because we're leaving in the morning. But yeah, when I get back, when I get back, it'll be open. And yeah, you can just order one at a time.
I used it to get an idea of where I wanted things to go. But ultimately, I followed my gut instinct.
Jennifer, I'm pretty sure we all have voices for our animals. Olaf, for example, speaks Spanish. He's a German dog with a Russian name, and he speaks Spanish. So, like that. Mr. Moon just screams. That's the extent of his personality. Oh, Rhonda, your cat has so much pressure on him. Yeah, you guys, you can feel free to post pictures of your pets in the Patreon group, for sure. He is very continental. He is. But he's cute. Olaf may have issues, but at least he's cute. He's got that going for him. He's not screaming. He's expressing clear thoughts. Yeah, and most of them are, Olaf, please love me, and Mama, let me outside. That's pretty much all he says. His weirdness increases as the grape juice plus decreases. I don't think so. No. He's just straight up weird anyway. Mr. Moon purrs like a truck idling. You can hear him in the other room. He also snores like a truck idling. One day I was sitting like right here and I kept hearing this sound. I was like, what is that sound? It was like this weird squeaky sound. And I finally got up and I went into the other room, and Mr. Moon was laying on his bed, like flopped over on his back, snoring. I could hear it from in here. And I was watching a video or listening to a podcast or something. Yeah. Thanks, Gretchen. Yeah, if you have the contrast in the colors, so I had the lighter blue and then the darker blue, that's when you start kind of keeping it from looking flat. It's not enough to look at like the butterfly in the picture and say, oh, it's blue, and then paint it, a single color of blue. Even if you don't see super pale blues and super dark blues and mid-tone blues, if you add that, it's going to give it more life than if you paint it just a solid color, even if it just looks like a solid color in the image. It is my first butterfly, yeah.
Where the butterfly might be standing. It's a very, very subtle effect. And now I'm just right back into the black. And number 2 round, and I'm just kind of dotting some little holes and texture there.
Ooh, Deb, that sounds gorgeous. I've never heard of it. What is it? A ghost sulfur butterfly? Phthalo green and cad yellow. I'm going to have to go look those up now. That does sound pretty gorgeous.
Up the bridge of the nose there. Felt like maybe that was just a little bit longer than I wanted, so I came.
You guys are so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I was a little nervous about doing the butterfly, being my first one and having no idea how I was going to do it, just making it up as I went along. But yeah, I'm super happy with how he turned out. Bye, Annie. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you. And I'm sure I will talk to you soon.
Back to our butterfly. Sorry, my plate is so washed out there. It's really hard to light.
Sue asked if I worry about the canvas texture showing through when I paint for myself. I don't.
It's kind of the Naples yellow white color.
If you mean like the raw canvas or the canvas color showing through, I don't, because I usually do an underpainting and I like when my underpainting shows. But as far as like just the texture showing, no. And as you can see here, there's a lot of the texture showing. I like canvas texture. It's one of the reasons that I choose to use canvases that have, kind of a toothy texture to them. I like that. You can do it, Lori. I know you can. I think my hand is not quite as steady as you guys think it is. First of all, there's, a little bit of a practice / confidence thing. If you're not confident and you go to your canvas, your muscles are going to be tense and your hand's going to be shaky. But if you're a little bit more confident and practice, you can, loosen up a little bit more. But also, my hand is planted. It's on the canvas. And I don't have to try and keep a steady hand when my hand is on the canvas because it can't really shake anywhere. It's pressing into the canvas. And I know that no matter how much I tell people that, they still think that I have like some magical steady hand. I swear to you, I don't.
I like to weave the colors together like that. And start with one color, move to another.
It's not wrong for you to worry about covering all of the texture, but I think personally, I think it's unnecessary. There's nothing wrong with canvas texture. That's like worrying about brush strokes. You're painting with a paintbrush on a canvas. There's nothing wrong with seeing the evidence of those things. I think that when we worry too much about covering canvas texture, we overblend our paint, we use too much, or, we just struggle. That's why I use underpainting. Then I don't have to care if my underpainting, be it black like here or hot pink or whatever shows. I chose my color because I would be okay with that happening. So, I don't know. That's my thought. Canvas texture is just evidence that you created a painting. I mean, look at how much canvas texture is showing through my butterfly. We have black spots. You can see the little, the actual texture of the canvas, and none of that bothers me. I didn't really erase the original butterfly outline. I just painted the background. Clearly it's just chalk. I didn't want a white line around the edge of the butterfly, so I just painted in the black background with black paint.
You need to get a different brush to get them really well, so that's fine. My number 2 has a pretty sharp point on it, so I felt pretty confident to get those little lines with this brush.
So Rhonda says, if you're painting for someone who loves it but you don't, and you've lost enthusiasm as a consequence, how do you get around it? Rhonda, that sounds like me. That sounds like a lot like me. When people are begging me to paint things that I don't want to paint, sometimes I find myself falling into that, and I will paint things that I don't want to paint, and I don't love it, and I'm not enthusiastic for it. And when I find that happening, I either have to take a break and go camping for 2 weeks, or I have to say, you know what, this week I'm painting what I want to paint, and I know that people are going to hate this skull with a butterfly. Do you know how many people hated that because they just hate skulls? Even on Patreon last week when I showed it and we did the skull painting, 2 people in Patreon thumbed me down. And, but it doesn't matter to me because that's what fills me with the enthusiasm, and that's what I love to do, and you have to do that for yourself. If you let yourself fall into a place where you're only painting for other people, you're going to be miserable and you're not going to do it for very long. That's my own personal rant.
And here's a part where I kind of felt like...
Oh, Mickey, I always have paint all over my hands. Always. There's nothing wrong with it. Wash those right off. We don't know exactly how long we're going to be gone. We'll be gone as long as we're gone. I'm guessing somewhere between a week or 2. And I will be doing everything I can to be at least broadcasting for you guys. It's going to depend on if I have at least cell service, but yeah.
I tell you things like that so that when you come across those...
A lot of people hated the skull. They don't like skulls. They have this very visceral reaction to... I had a lot of people comment, well, I guess I'll have to wait until next week because this is too dark for me, or, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But you know what? Bright, sunny summer paintings aren't my cup of tea, and yeah, I do them because I know that everybody else wants them. So, it's true. You can't please everyone. The only person you can please all the time, or at least almost all the time, is yourself. So that's who you should try and please as much as possible. And if you can please yourself, then other people you'll find your audience. You'll find people who enjoy it too. And those are things that I keep trying to tell myself, but I do find myself getting kind of sucked back into, all right, it's spring, everybody wants pink and cherry blossoms and, bright, happy things. And I don't actually care to paint those things very often. Yeah, skulls, they are quite challenging, and it's a good opportunity to learn, some skills and things but that's okay. Can't please everybody.
Let's go back into some of our light.
Yeah, Debbie says I have to paint what I feel motivated to paint. Absolutely. Tammy, when I used to make jewelry, I quit taking commissions very early on in my career too. I was like, nope. Because I found myself making jewelry that I hated, that, wasn't in my style. So, yeah. Like, I don't do commission paintings. If somebody says, I want you to paint this for me, the answer is no. I'm not doing commissions. This is what I have available. You can buy one of those, but I don't do commissions.
Remember, what's going to make your butterfly look good is contrast. You have to have some very, very bright, and you have to have
Did I go to a garden party? What do you mean, Eileen?
Contrast that's going to make your butterfly look good. If all of your butterflies
Well,
are
thank you, Mickey.
very mid-tone or very dark, it's going to seem very flat.
Thank you, Deb.
So that's what I'm focusing on here, is getting some quite dark colors, but also some quite pale colors.
I don't know. Sometimes I like to use pink, but
Right now,
it has to be.
just doing my pale colors.
It has to be in the right way.
Just scribbling them on. Like before, just kind of feeling it out and saying, do I want a light color here? If the answer ultimately is no,
I guess I don't know that song, Eileen.
much brighter.
Well, hello, Cindy. Ugh, glitter, yuck. Ugh. Ugh. To use an undelicate nickname, I apologize. This is not really the most delicate way to say this, but I always refer to glitter as craft herpes. Craft herpes are not allowed in my house.
That yellow, kind of a red brown.
Deborah, see, I agree. Exploring outside your interests is exciting, and it's a great opportunity to learn something new, and yeah.
Kind of talking about how with a red, a blue, and
Oh, Eileen, I think I might know that song, or else there's another song I'm thinking of that says the same thing.
and while I might get those are much more muted now,
Gretchen, you call it craft herpes too?
this is still, a color palette that I can use to create any painting I like.
I'm trying to like mute my microphone or at least make noise on it when I drink so that I'm not all like in your faces. So. Okay.
With three colors. It's very antique looking, very
Hello, Tan.
rough looking. But then I used those exact same three colors and created something very delicate looking, almost shiny looking, and new looking. It's the exact same colors. It just depends on how you mix them and how you apply them. A bit of bright white. I liked that. I thought that was kind of a peak.
I really want to paint another butterfly now, though. But maybe I'll really make the people who don't like Halloween angry and paint one of the Silence of the Lambs moths. What is it called? A death head moth. Is that what it's called? It's got like the skull on its back.
A little more yellow and fill in this big one. This big one is kind of what you're really going to be looking at because
A death's head. Yeah, that's what I thought it was called.
butterfly wings. But it also
Maybe we'll have to do one of those. Maybe I'll do that while we're out on the road. That'll be the next one that I do.
skull. So it's
The Silence of the Lambs moth.
dual purpose there.
Thank you, Debbie. I was super happy with this butterfly, and one of the things that I really liked about it, I thought it was really exciting that I used the exact same colors in this butterfly. No more, no less, except I didn't use Payne's Gray in it. I used the exact same colors on the butterfly as I used in the skull, and it looks completely different. It looks so soft and like pastel and pretty, where the skull looks very aged and rough and everything. Exact same colors.
I'm not trying to make this butterfly look exactly like that reference image on there. I know kind of the direction I'm going, and I'm just following where that leads.
No, Lori, I think we'll skip that part. Oh, Mr. Moon's chasing Olaf around again, trying to get him to pay attention to him. I gotta try and get a video of it.
I'm gonna go.
He like does this thing where he jumps up and like bumps his head against Olaf's chin, and Olaf is just like, stop, 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 stop.
Dampen the color
It's hilarious.
so it's not overly bright.
Oh, happy birthday to your mom, Tan.
Darken
Tell her we said happy birthday.
as you can see here. I'm about
I understand that. I know there's a lot of cultures that are, kind of superstitious when it comes to
so I'm gonna go back and
things like this. Absolutely, I get that.
need a color that's much darker and much cooler.
Sharon, I thought it was a good,
I'm looking for that.
death, rebirth, kind of life cycle type analogy too.
Lightly scumbling a tiny hint of this dark
Oh, Tammy, thank you. Yeah, everybody, if you would like to connect with everybody else here on Instagram, please feel free to drop your Instagram handle in the chat. If you're watching and you're not in chat, you can go ahead and drop your Instagram handle in the comments section on Patreon. And yeah, that's my favorite thing about you guys, like our group, is we're all kind of on Patreon or on Instagram, and I'll see a painting by a person that I've never heard of them before. Maybe this is the first time they've ever tagged me in anything, but like so many of you have already seen it and liked it, and everybody's so supportive and helpful with each other on Instagram, and it just makes me so happy. So, yeah, feel free to plop in your Instagram handles. Oh, bye, Lori. Have fun. That sounds delicious. Ooh, Brussels sprouts. I'm coming over. They're my favorite. I'll see if I can get a video of them.
Just taking that darker blue color a little bit.
Olaf's playing with a ball now, and Mr. Moon's trying to get in on the action. I wish I could. My computer doesn't turn. I wish I could turn it around so you could see them. They're hilarious.
Even more. Still just stumbling tiny hints of that dark blue, especially around the edge of the black, where that black is
Oh, you probably heard that one, huh? Sorry.
working against the pale colors. If I introduce little bits of that blue to where the black meets that clear.
See how
I feel like
when I first started adding those little black lines on the butterfly, it looked so, it really looked quite phony, and it still has that kind of phony effect with the little sketchy black lines on there. But, you know, playing with the values, like here I'm going to go in with that super dark blue and, you know, just layering. I feel like I did a good job of kind of pulling them all in so that those sketchy black lines didn't look all phony.
And I'm going to start going over those little black lines again. Again, that little bit of blue and the light scumbling motion is going to help.
Yeah, if it's too much to keep up with here, you can go ahead and start a thread on the community page, and then everybody just plop them in there. Absolutely, because I'd like to go through and find you all too and make sure I'm following all of you. I should do one of those moths on one of my little log slices, huh? That would be awesome. All right, have a good time, Tammy. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Thank you, Deborah. It's getting there. It's still a little scribbly and weird right now, but it's getting there.
The wing is another area where I feel like you really could drive yourself crazy. If you look at the reference image, there's all kinds of little zigzaggy bits of the black all throughout there. And I didn't want to go crazy trying to do all of that, which is one reason I didn't worry too much about covering all of the black of the canvas. I figured if any of it showed, it would help with that a little bit. Just don't make yourself crazy doing unnecessary details. I felt like those little details, they weren't required to make it appear to be a butterfly.
Should we skip ahead a little bit? I know it's getting kind of late.
Still know it's a butterfly.
He has his hand on his hip. Yeah, he's kind of crazy. He's attitudinal.
Just finalizing a couple little black details. I decided to start adding a little bit of some veining through the wing.
Bye, Debbie. Thanks for hanging out.
I felt like it looked plopped on top, just like before when I very first.
I think everybody wants to go eat dinner. Let's skip ahead to the background here. And you guys feel free to ask any questions you have. Remember, I'm not going to have a video on Tuesday. Vince and I are heading out of town. We'll be gone for a week or two. But I will still be, posting things to you guys at least. I will get you some reference images specifically for you. When I have the internet capability, we will still do our weekend events. And I will be working on doing some videos, to publicly post while I'm out there. So, but it's probably going to be, a different format. Obviously, I can't take like my whole setup, my big studio, everything with me. So it'll be smaller things. Probably a little more inspired by the landscape that I'm in at the time, or, whatever I can think of that would be cool to put on a little log slice. It's almost dry now, the pouring medium. There's still a spot that's a little hazy, but yeah, I want to do a bunch of these little log slice paintings. So yeah, I'm really excited for this next couple of weeks. I need this really, really bad. I'm going to get all of the inspiration.
A little bit of black, a little bit of matte medium.
Thank you, Mickey.
Blending those two areas together.
Oh yeah, I'm for sure going to paint a Silence of the Lambs moth now. I need to paint that guy. The dinos are coming. Yes. Thank you, Eileen. Yeah, so some of you might remember, some of you weren't here, but when we went out before, I took a picture of a cute little dino. I don't have it here. A picture of a cute little dino and then painted it where he was. Did I paint it just for you guys? I think, was it a Patreon only video? But I'm going to take more of those dino photos, and for sure. So yeah, you can expect to see that. So what I did was I went to Michael's. Oh yeah, Stevosaurus, that's what we named him. I know I said I don't shop at Michael's anymore. Rarely. When I do, I have a 40% off coupon. Deborah's working on the dino right now? Yes. I bought one of those tubes that's full of like plastic dinosaurs. And next to my front door in my trailer hangs our machete, not like for creepy purposes, but because that's where it fits, and if we need to chop anything, it's right there. But then I've also got the tube of dinos hanging there. So just the essentials on the inside of the door: the machete and the dinos in the tube. I can't wait to see your dino, Deborah. Please post him in Patreon at least, or, on Instagram, whatever. I really want to see him. Thank you, Rhonda. I'm pretty stoked about it. Nobody has any questions, though? Nothing else? Our video's almost done here. But remember, the number one thing that I want you guys, all of you guys, to work on this week is being nice. Be nice to yourselves, please. If you can't be nice to yourself, how can you expect anybody else to be nice to you? So be your own cheerleader. If you totally flub a painting, and it happens, if you totally flub a painting, I want you to be gentle with yourself and say, well, that one didn't work out, but here's what I do like about it. Here's what I don't like, and here's how I can fix that. And I'm just going to keep going because I know that I can do it if I keep practicing. I want you to say something like that. Don't be like, oh, you idiot, you totally messed that up and you suck and blah, 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 blah. Let people who don't know you, who are jerks, say that, and then you ignore them, but don't say those things to yourself. You're going on vacation, Mickey. Where are you going? I will be nice to myself on my chill trip. It's going to be so fun. And I'm going to make all of the art for me, but then I'll share it with you too.
Blend, because that paint is just about dry. A little bit of matte medium there helps to blend it, or I can just grab a
Good, Asen. I love to hear that.
That will help too. So just a tiny poke of Payne's Gray blends it right in, even though the
all right, well, it doesn't sound like you guys need me too much today, so I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go cook some dinner and finish packing up. And I can't believe my microphone didn't die. My battery's almost dead. And I will be in contact with you guys as absolutely much as I possibly can while we're on the road. Mickey's going to Iceland. That's my #1 dream place. I need to go to Iceland so bad. Oh, Mickey, I'm so jealous. All right, I will be in contact with you guys as much as I can. And Asen's going to Spain. You guys are so lucky. We will have a great trip, and I will see you guys soon, and we will talk about all of the things then. So love you guys tons. Bye.